Hello everyone, I'm Alliance Gamer and I'm going to be doing a graphic novel review today. The graphic novel in question is Vampire Academy. This is apparently based on a #1 best-selling series, and believe me, when I looked at the blurb on the back I was somewhat sceptical. See, I'm a bit of a vampire purist, and this book tampers with the mythos in a way that I personally don't find particularly pleasing. So, the blurb on the back. Lissa Dragomir is a mortal vampire. Mortal vampire. Yeah, no, that's not correct. Vampires are not mortal. They never have been. They're just... yeah, okay. She must be protected at all times from the fiercest and most dangerous vampires of all, the ones who will never die. If she's a mortal vampire, what happens to her when she does die? Does she then become immortal? Whatever, I don't know, whatever. It's... yeah... If there's one good thing I can say about this book, it's that the art style is pretty damn amazing. But in my honest opinion, that's more or less its only redeeming quality. So, straight away, just by looking at the first few pages of the book, it commits what I believe to be its first of many cardinal sins. Now, she's shown here having a psychic connection with her guardian, essentially. Vampires aren't really psychic. They've been known to have sort of mind control abilities on various human beings, but that's not quite the same thing as psychic. She apparently has the ability to control humans. No, vampires, no, they don't. They don't. We go on to find out that the academy they go to, they arrive in the daytime. No. As soon as she steps out of the car, you can't see, sorry about that. As soon as she steps out of this car, she should turn to dust. But apparently they're arriving at breakfast time. Yeah, you can now probably see the issue I have with this book. Breakfast, unless it's blood, I don't think so. And second of all, vampires, they sleep during the day. They're nocturnal. They don't get... and they're apparently mixing... I mean, it's not really... The lore and the backstory of this universe is explained in parts of the book, but not in a way that I personally find very satisfying. Humans and vampires apparently mix. Why does she need to be protected from... I don't know. And what also really pisses me off is the fact that the vampire characters are all pale-skinned and they drink blood, as if that somehow excuses these mistakes. I found it very difficult to get through the entire novel. I just got so angry and frustrated. Changes to the vampire mythos don't mind me too much, as long as they're explained properly or they make some sort of logical sense. This just doesn't. It feels like it's written by somebody that has very little to no understanding of the vampire mythology or any regard for it. Like they don't care. We can just make up what we want, and excuse me. it gets. I mean, here as I turn the page and I look at it, the there are apparently like three sort of subcategories of vampires. There are the mortal. I'm not going to go into the names because I can't pronounce them. There are the mortal vampires which need to drink blood to survive and can use elemental magic, alive, born. No, no. Again, vampires, they don't use magic. They're not witches. They're not warlocks. They're a completely different entity. I'm not saying a vampire. Okay, they can, I suppose, but they're not born that way. And then there's the half mortal, half human kind, half mortal vampire, half mortal human kind. Again, vampires are immortal. Humans are mortal. It's just and then there's like the in betweeny kind of vampire sort of. And then that's it. We get no explanation. We just get what they can do, and I'm like, but you can't just make this shit. Maybe I'm just being a nitpicky asshole. Like I said, I consider myself a bit of a vampire purist. I'm okay with tampering with the formula of things, but if again, I have to stress this, unless it makes some sort of sense, if you can't just make this shit up as you go along. And some people would say, oh, well, it's horror, it's fiction, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it does. The vampire is a fictional creature of creatures have been around for centuries, 2, maybe 3 centuries. I don't know. I haven't really. You can't just make up your own stuff when what we already have established in the vampire mythology has been around for such a long time. It's like you're just sweeping all of that other history, if you like, under the rug. Like it doesn't matter. And it's. I hesitate to bring up something like, say, Twilight. This is probably almost as bad as that in my personal opinion. But yeah, it gets. I mean, there's a vampire character in here who's apparently dying. He's sick. Bollocks. I'm afraid, just bollocks. Vampires don't get ill. They're immortal. They're supposed to be immortal. He's supposed to live forever, unless he's staked or basically drowned in holy water, or really, we have to have a vampire that's elderly and sick and dying of old. No, just I. It's inexcusably bad. It really does feel like there is no regard for the mythology at all. It just. Why? Why do things like this exist? And I'm just trying to find, where is it? The part that really. Oh, here we go. The part that really cheesed my onions. There's a page. I mean, I'd like to show you, but I can't really. On the camera, I can't get it up. Look, point is that there's a bit where the vampires go to church. No, really, they go to church. Oh, not a church for God or anything. Not that excuses it. They have like some sort of saint vampires. Really, vampire? A church is doesn't matter whether it's a made up god or well, again, shouldn't matter in my opinion. Again, it's just my opinion. It's a place where you find God. Vampires are evil. They're soulless. They hate and fear God. I don't even care if it's a church for vampire gods or saints or whatever. It's bollocks. It's not. You can't just make this shit up. You I think, but I think I'd better I'd better bring this into conclusion. I mean, there's one more point I want to talk about before I wrap this up. There's a scene where a person is wounded, and our main character, she like has to give him blood or something, otherwise he'll die. Again, it's a vampire character, and I'm just thinking, but he's not going to. He's immortal. He'll probably survive those wounds, and she needs to somehow give the blood to him by biting him. That just what? In conclusion, Vampire Academy, the graphic novel. I don't like it. That should be pretty obvious by now. I don't think that vampire mythology should be tampered with unless you know what you're doing with it. I'm not saying that that there are rules that have to be set in stone. I'm not saying that. But it has to be properly explained, and I'm not getting that feeling from this. It doesn't make sense. It's like, are vampires, they still drink blood? It's like, yeah, but that doesn't excuse all the other crap that you're asking us to so yeah, I don't think I could recommend this unless you're incredibly open-minded or whatever. In my personal opinion, its one redeeming quality is its art style, and that's it. I've been a Lions Gamer, and I will be back with another video very soon.